Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right in because today we're exploring a completely mind-bending hidden world that is literally right beneath our feet. We're talking about fungi. But, we aren't just looking at what you might forage in the woods on a hike or slice up to put on a pizza. We're uncovering an ancient biological blueprint that completely redefines intelligence. It challenges our entire understanding of what an individual even is, and it could actually hold the key to solving some of humanity's biggest climate and economic crises. It's a truly fascinating journey from the soil all the way to the very structure of our society. So let's get into it. So, how did a completely brainless fungus perfectly replicate the UK motorway system? Seriously, get this. Microbial ecologist Lynn Boddy set up this amazing experiment where she created a physical map of Great Britain out of soil. She placed these little wooden blocks representing major cities to serve as food for the fungus. And the fungus, growing from these cities, actively sought out the absolute most efficient routes to connect all those different points together. The resulting network it grew was astonishingly similar to the actual UK transit system. It's like a brainless engineer, it perfectly optimized its transport network in real time, completely shattering our human-centered view of what intelligence actually looks like. Okay, let's dive into this a bit deeper. When we think of fungi, we usually picture mushrooms, right? But as biologist Merlin Sheldrake points out, the mushrooms we see popping up out of the dirt are really just the fruiting bodies. They're like apples on a tree. The true genius lies underground, in the mycelium. Mycelium is this vast subterranean network of branching, fusing tubular cells called hyphae. This is the actual main body of the fungus, and it acts as the ecological connective tissue of the earth. Imagine billions of microscopic threads just weaving through the soil, breaking down organic matter, and literally stitching the natural world together into one cohesive living fabric. Now, despite all these incredible capabilities, human attitudes toward fungi are actually deeply divided. Researcher Gordon Wasson noted that cultures generally fall into two distinct camps, mycophobia and mycophilia. In the English-speaking world, we tend to be deeply mycophobic, meaning we fear them. This likely stems from a deep-seated association with death, decay, and the fact that they seemingly just appear out of nowhere in the dark. But in many Slavic and Asian cultures, there's a deep mycophilia, a really profound reverence for fungi. Our Western fear of that decay has honestly kind of blinded us to their incredible, life-sustaining regenerative power. Section 1. The brains of the soil. This brings us to our first major concept, which is challenging our cerebral centrism. That deeply ingrained belief that you absolutely need a brain to be highly intelligent. Fungi are capable of absolute masterpieces of decentralized intelligence. We already talked about them perfectly optimizing those transport networks, but they can also navigate really complex spatial mazes to efficiently locate food sources. And even wilder, they can literally alter the behavior of other creatures. Take the Ophiocordyceps fungus, widely known as the zombie ant fungus. It actually infiltrates and puppeteers an ant's body, forcing it to climb up a plant and clamp down on a leaf so the fungus can perfectly rain its spores down onto the ant colony below. It's wild. And their influence extends to human biology as well. Psilocybin, which is the active compound found in magic mushrooms, has been shown in modern clinical studies to quiet the human brain's default mode network that literally dissolves the rigid boundaries of the human ego and fosters a profound, lasting sense of interconnectedness. Section 2. The Wood Wide Web. We're shifting our focus now from the intelligence of a single fungal organism to how mycelium acts as a vast, decentralized communication system for all of nature. The brilliant ecologist Suzanne Simard famously discovered that mycelium forms a shared mycorrhizal network between plants in a forest, essentially functioning as a massive underground marketplace. And this network goes way beyond just searching for food. It actively delivers essential nutrients and water to plants. But it's not just some passive biological pipe, It's deeply collaborative. Simard found that large, established sunlit birch trees will actually send carbon through the fungal network to smaller, shaded fir trees to nurture them when they're struggling to photosynthesize. Plus, if a plant is attacked by insects, it sends chemical warning signals right through this very same network, so its neighbors can preemptively raise their own defenses. It completely flips the traditional Darwinian idea of pure competition on its head, turning it into this beautiful story of mutual support and community survival. This level of deep intrinsic symbiosis leads Merlin Sheldrake to a pretty staggering conclusion. There have never been individuals. I mean, think about lichens for a second. We used to think they were just a simple duo, a fungus and an algae hanging out. But now we know they're entire complex ecosystems containing yeast and incredibly diverse bacteria, all functioning together as one single unit, what we call a holobiont. This completely dissolves our rigid biological boundaries of the self. A tree isn't just a tree anymore, it's a tree plus its countless fungal partners. And frankly, humans are walking ecosystems too.
Section 3. Building with biology. So if nature operates this efficiently and regeneratively, how can we actually use it to fix our human-made climate and waste crises? Well, we can build with it. Look at this incredible innovation coming out of NTU Singapore. Researchers there are growing architectural cooling tiles using fungi. The process is amazing. They feed agricultural waste to mycelium inside of molds, let it grow and mature for 3 to 4 weeks, and then press it into hexagonal tiles. And using biomimicry, they textured these tiles to look exactly like the deep wrinkles on elephant skin. The result? In lab tests, these fungi tiles cooled environments 25% faster than smooth materials. They are providing compostable, low-emission insulation that you can literally grow from scratch. The crucial point here is that this process, called mycofabrication, is an absolute game changer. Companies like Ecovative are proving that fungi are nature's great decomposers. By feeding them our waste, we can literally grow our future infrastructure. We're talking about fully compostable packaging, sustainable and fire-resistant building materials, and even a stunning mycelium leather alternative that is currently being used by top-tier fashion designers. We are finally learning to treat fungi as vital partners rather than just resources to extract. Section 4. The mycelial business model.
Now, what's really interesting here is the massive conceptual leap this research takes. If we can apply this biological biomimicry to physical materials, can we apply it directly to human social constructs, like capitalism and business? Researcher Anna C. Aguilar's mycelial framework actually maps a forest ecosystem directly onto an industry. Imagine an industry as a tree. Its roots are the supporting subsystems, things like manufacturing, retail, technology. The brand's core purpose acts exactly like the mycelium, the hyphae, connecting these different industry roots together through symbiotic partnerships. And the fruit on the tree isn't just financial profit, it represents regenerative profit. Things like health, circularity, and community well-being, all born from shared resources.
To really understand this, the research contrasts 2 major retail archetypes. On one side, you have the traditional fast fashion approach, which is exemplified in the study by a brand like H&M. This model is defined in the research as anthropocentric, driven by linear waste, consumerism, and short-term profit, really focusing on rapid production at the lowest possible costs. Then, on the other side, the framework points to regenerative brands, exemplified by Patagonia. This model is described as ecocentric, behaving much more like a fungal network. It focuses heavily on circularity, long-term symbiosis with the environment, and a life economy that prioritizes protecting the planet's overall health alongside generating revenue. Section 5. Planting seeds of life.
The takeaway is pretty clear. If businesses want to survive the climate crisis, the research suggests they need a totally new blueprint. They need to stop acting like extractors and start acting like ecosystems. For a system to thrive like a forest does, it requires replacing hidden agendas and pure self-interest with radical transparency, a shared purpose, and collaboration reinforcement. By creating an environment of integrative power, which means power with rather than power over, a brand creates a thriving, abundant system where serving the whole ecosystem directly benefits every single one of the individual parts.
And this brilliantly illustrates the 7 operational pillars to actually put that into action: interdependence, circularity, reciprocity, adaptability, innovation, and abundance mindset, and harm prevention. By adopting these fungal strategies, businesses can step away from a linear economic model that just consumes itself into extinction and move toward a truly regenerative one. It proves that any brand, no matter the industry, can weave itself right into the environment to become a collaborative force for nature. We've seen how fungi perfectly map transit systems, communicate across vast forests, build sustainable cities, and even offer a brilliant blueprint for better businesses. But the ultimate question here is really for you. How can you apply a mycelial mindset to your own life? What changes when you drop the illusion of separation, dissolve those rigid boundaries of the self, and start viewing your world, your community, your work, your environment as one deeply entangled, heart-centered web? It's a pretty fascinating thought to take with you, isn't it? Thanks for joining me on today's Explainer.